Hey everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm absolutely thrilled that you're joining us for today's journey through something that, honestly, it's both fascinating and a bit mind-boggling when you stop to think about it. We're diving into the evolution of language. From those ancient scripts carved into stone or scribbled on papyrus, all the way to the emojis and internet slang that pretty much dominate our digital conversations today. It's just amazing, right? How we went from drawing symbols to represent the world around us, to expressing laughter, anger, or even love with just a click of a button. And it really gets you thinking, what does this shift say about us as a society? How has technology not just changed the way we talk, but maybe even the way we think and connect with each other? And, okay, here's something I've been mulling over, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this, Rowan. How do you think the introduction of emojis and internet slang has impacted our ability to express ourselves? Are we moving towards a more universally understood form of communication, or are we losing the nuances that traditional languages hold? I mean, there's so much to unpack here, and I cannot wait to dive into this topic with all of you. So let's get this conversation started and see where this exploration of language takes us.
Oh, absolutely. That's a fascinating point you're bringing up. The shift towards emojis and internet slang, it's like we're crafting an entirely new language, right? One that's born out of a desire for rapid-fire communication. It's as if we're streamlining our thoughts into more digestible, often more visually appealing snippets. But then there's this intriguing aspect to consider. Do these modern symbols and abbreviations carry the same depth as traditional language? I mean, think about it. When you use an emoji, sure, it's universally understandable to an extent. A smiley face is a smiley face, whether you're in New York or New Delhi. But at the same time, does that smiley face capture the full spectrum of human emotion? The subtleties, the context, the cultural nuances. It makes me wonder, are we trading depth for convenience? Or are we perhaps evolving language in such a way that it becomes more inclusive, more accessible to a broader audience? It's a double-edged sword, really. On one hand, emojis and internet slang can bridge gaps, transcending linguistic barriers. On the other, there's a risk of diluting the rich tapestry that languages have woven over millennia. It's definitely a topic worth exploring further, especially when you consider how technology continues to reshape our communication landscape. What do you think? Does the rise of this digital lingo signify a leap forward, or are we at risk of losing something integral to our collective cultural heritage?
Yeah, Rowan, I'm with you on seeing both sides of that coin. It's like we're on this tightrope between innovation and preservation, and it's such a nuanced conversation, isn't it? On one hand, the rise of emojis and internet slang really has introduced this fascinating layer of universal symbols. It's pretty wild to think that no matter where you are in the world, a simple emoji can convey happiness, sadness, or even sarcasm without saying a word. It's incredibly efficient, and in many ways, it does tear down language barriers that have existed for eons. But then, you're spot on when you mention the loss of depth. There's this richness, this texture in language that emojis and slang can sometimes struggle to capture. I remember this one time I was texting a friend who was going through a tough time, and I found myself typing and deleting my message over and over. It was this weird moment of realization that sometimes those little symbols and shortcuts just don't cut it. They fall short of expressing genuine empathy or the complexity of human emotions. And it brings us to this intriguing junction of technology and human connection. Are we leaning too much on these digital crutches to express ourselves? It's like, yes, they make communication swift and borderless, but at what cost? Striking that balance, that's the real challenge. How do we embrace this evolution in our written language while ensuring we don't lose the art of deep, meaningful conversation? This whole topic really does open up a Pandora's box of questions about where we're headed. I'd love to deep dive into how different cultures are adapting to this shift. Like, is the emoji usage or internet lingo similar across the board, or are we seeing unique adaptations? It's this melting pot of globalization and individual culture that's super fascinating.
Yeah, diving into cultural variations in emoji usage and internet slang is absolutely intriguing. It's this beautiful intersection where globalization meets localization. Each culture, in its unique way, tends to adapt these digital tools to better express its linguistic idiosyncrasies and societal norms. For instance, the way emojis are employed in Japan, where they originated, by the way, might carry different nuances compared to their usage in, say, the United States or Brazil. What's particularly fascinating is observing how internet slang evolves within different languages. It's like each linguistic community carves out its own niche in the digital vocabulary, crafting expressions that resonate with their cultural experiences and social contexts. This not only enriches the digital lexicon, but also highlights the creativity and adaptability of language. This blend of the universal and the specific creates a rich tapestry of digital communication. On one hand, you have emojis, the near-universal language of symbols, that can bridge conversations across continents. On the other, there's this colorful spectrum of internet slang that varies wildly from one language to another, from one culture to another, adding depth and flavor to our digital interactions. It's a testament to human creativity, how we manage to imbue these digital symbols and abbreviations with cultural significance and individual personality. Yet, it raises an interesting question about the future of language. As we navigate this era of rapid digital evolution, how will these cultural peculiarities fare? Will they flourish, further diversifying our global conversation, or might they be overshadowed by the push towards a more universally understood digital lexicon? It's a delicate dance, really, navigating between the universal appeal of emojis and the distinctive charm of localized internet slang. I think this dynamic speaks volumes about our globalized yet deeply individualistic world. How do you see this playing out, especially in terms of maintaining cultural identity amidst the growing ubiquity of digital communication tools?
Oh, that's a fantastic point. And honestly, it's something that really stirs the pot of curiosity. This whole idea of maintaining a cultural identity in the face of sweeping digital changes, it's like walking a tightrope over a cultural mosaic, isn't it? Every step needs to be mindful, deliberate, yet it's happening in a world that's constantly on fast forward. There's something inherently beautiful about the way language evolves, adapting and morphing under the pressures and influences of societal changes, including those ushered in by technology. It's as if our collective human spirit refuses to be boxed in, continuously seeking new avenues for expression. And this tension between the universal and the culturally specific, as you mentioned, it's where that magic happens. It's where a simple digital pictograph can be laden with layers of cultural significance, depending on who's on the receiving end. Look at how memes, for example, become this globally understood phenomenon. Yet within different cultures, they take on unique flavors, riffing off local humor, politics, or even day-to-day struggles. It's this localization of global digital trends that, in a way, acts as a bulwark, preserving those cultural identities and nuances. But as you rightly pointed out, there's a legitimate concern about whether these cultural peculiarities will stand the test of time or if they'll be gradually diluted in the homogenizing wash of digital communication. I'm an optimist, though. I believe that as much as we're hurtling towards a more interconnected world, the craving for individuality, for that touchstone of cultural identity, remains strong. It's this craving that inspires innovation within the digital realm, fostering a sort of bespoke globalization. We see it in the way new internet slang terms burgeon from uniquely local experiences, or how emojis are being continually expanded to cover a wider array of emotions and objects, reflecting an ever-diversifying global community. It's a sign that rather than eroding cultural identities, the digital age might actually be offering us new canvases on which to sketch them. So navigating this shift? It's about striking a balance, embracing the tools that bring us closer together while championing the diversity that adds color to the human experience. It's a journey, one that I'm excited to see unfold. And who knows, perhaps in this weaving together of the global and the local, we'll find new expressions, new idioms that are as rich and nuanced as any that have come before.
Absolutely. The notion of bespoke globalization you've introduced is incredibly fascinating. It seems to beautifully encapsulate this paradox we're navigating, where on the surface, We're moving towards a seemingly uniform digital communication platform, but beneath that, there's a vibrant undercurrent of individuality and cultural richness that's being fostered by the same digital advancements. It's as if the digital age, rather than flattening cultural landscapes into a monochrome tapestry, is actually enabling a more nuanced, multidimensional mosaic to emerge. This is where the true beauty of our modern communication lies, isn't it? In its ability to be both universally accessible and deeply personal, all at once. And speaking of expansion, the continuous growth of the emoji vocabulary is a testament to our relentless pursuit of more expressive and inclusive forms of communication. It's heartening to see emojis that cater to different cultures, lifestyles, and even food preferences. This inclusivity not only celebrates diversity, but also underscores the importance of representation in digital spaces. By ensuring that diverse voices and experiences are visually represented, we're taking significant strides towards a more empathetic and connected global community. Moreover, the evolution of internet slang and memes, as you mentioned, offers a dynamic canvas for cultural expression. They're like digital folklore, constantly evolving, spreading, and reflecting the zeitgeist of our times. It's intriguing to consider how these digital artifacts will be viewed by future generations. Will they see them as we see folklore and traditional stories today, as pivotal snapshots of our societal values, fears, and hopes during this era? This dance between the universal and the unique in digital communication isn't just about preserving cultural identities, it's also a powerful driver for creative expression. As we blend global symbols with local flavors, we're not just communicating, we're actively participating in a form of digital artistry. This is where the potential for new, groundbreaking forms of expression lies, merging traditional elements with digital innovations to create something entirely new, yet familiar. So in this rapid march towards an interconnected digital future, it's crucial that we continue to champion both the universal tools that bring us together and the unique expressions that define our individuality. It's by embracing this duality that we can forge a more inclusive, expressive, and interconnected world. What an exciting time to be part of this digital renaissance, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's exhilarating. Talking about a digital renaissance really captures the essence of this era we're living in. It's a period of great digital awakening, where boundaries are being redefined, not just geographically, but linguistically and culturally as well. The impact of this on our sense of identity and community is profound. It's like we're all part of this vast digital tapestry, each of us weaving our own thread into it, creating a picture that's so much bigger than the sum of its parts. And this ongoing expansion of digital vocabularies, like emojis and internet slang, it's a vivid illustration of how technology isn't just changing the way we communicate, it's revolutionizing it. It's fostering a form of communication that's inclusive, expressive, and importantly, adaptive to our rapidly changing world. It encourages us to be not just consumers of this digital evolution, but active participants. The role of creativity in this space can't be overstated. It's the fuel that drives this digital renaissance, inspiring new forms of expression that bridge the gap between the traditional and the digital. This blurring of lines is not just fascinating, it's vital. It ensures that, as we move forward, we're not just connected by technology, but enriched by it, allowing for a deeper, more meaningful exchange of ideas and emotions across this global village. Facing forward, the challenge and opportunity lie in how we nurture this balance between universal connection and individual expression, how we continue to innovate while preserving the essence of our cultural and personal identities. In embracing this challenge, we're not just shaping the digital communication landscape, we're shaping the future of human connection. And that, to me, is the most exciting journey of all.
It really is the ultimate journey, isn't it? This idea of shaping the future of human connection through our digital interactions is both daunting and thrilling. It's that delicate balancing act between leveraging technology to bring us closer together, while also ensuring that in this closeness, we don't lose sight of the individual threads that make the tapestry of humanity so rich and vibrant. Every emoji we select, every meme we share, or internet slang we adopt, they're not just trivialities. They're small but significant choices that reflect our individuality, our culture, and sometimes even our aspirations. It's like we're all contributing to this global digital lexicon, a living, breathing entity that evolves with us, molds to our needs, and grows richer with every interaction. The challenge, then, as we face this digital renaissance, is to remember the power of these choices, to recognize that with every digital expression, we have the opportunity to contribute to a more nuanced, inclusive, and expressive global dialogue. It's about embracing the vast potential of digital communication tools to not just transmit messages, but to forge connections, nurture empathy, and celebrate diversity. In navigating this balance, perhaps the key is mindful engagement with our digital tools, choosing to use emojis, memes, and internet slang not just for efficiency or humor, but as a means of authentic self-expression and genuine connection. It's about making space for both the global language these tools offer and the unique voices we each bring to the conversation. The future of human connection in this digital age hinges on our collective ability to cherish and champion both the universal and the personal, to weave together the global and the local in ways that enrich not just our own lives, but the collective human experience. That's the promise of this digital renaissance, a promise that's as exciting as it is profound. And truly, I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
It's a journey I'm equally eager to watch unfold, and I think you've really hit the nail on the head there. The idea that each choice we make in our digital expressions, every emoji, every piece of internet slang, every meme, it contributes to this constantly evolving digital lexicon. It's a beautiful reminder of our individual power and responsibility in shaping the digital landscape. It redefines the act of communication as something deeply creative, personal, and inherently communal. The notion of mindful engagement resonates deeply. It's about harnessing the vast potential of these digital tools to foster not just connection, but meaningful engagement, to make each digital interaction an opportunity to reflect our nuances, to share a bit of our world, and to invite others into it in ways that transcend mere words. And amidst this enthusiasm for what's possible, there's also a valuable reminder to maintain a sense of grounding, to remember the roots from which our modes of communication have evolved, and to cherish the cultural and individual histories we carry into the digital realm. This isn't just technology, it's a new chapter in the human story, one where every like, tweet, or share is a sentence, a page, or perhaps even a whole chapter in the narrative of our time. It's heartening to think about the future in this context, isn't it? A future where our digital interactions don't detract from the richness of human experience, but instead add to it, creating a multifaceted mosaic of humanity that's as broad in its connectivity as it is deep in its diversity. It's not just about being connected. It's about being connected in ways that matter, that enrich, that bridge divides and foster understanding. It's about crafting a digital world where we can each find our voice, share our story, and maybe, just maybe, find that despite our differences, we share much more in common than we ever thought possible.
Absolutely. The idea that this is not just technology, but a new chapter in the human story really elevates the conversation. It's not merely about the tools we use, but how we use them to weave these incredibly intricate and diverse narratives of who we are, both individually and collectively. Every emoji, every meme, every piece of internet slang, it's like a thread in this vast digital tapestry that's being woven in real time across the globe. And there's something really profound in that, isn't there? This notion that amidst the vastness of the internet, our individual contributions matter. That we're not just passive observers of this digital age, but active participants in shaping its character, its language, and ultimately, its legacy. It's a reminder of the power of our digital voices, to build bridges, to weave together narratives that, while remarkably diverse, are also beautifully interconnected. So as we look forward, embracing the potential of our digital tools, it's essential to do so with an awareness of the value of each contribution. To engage with the digital world in a way that not only respects, but cherishes the stories, the cultures, and the identities that make up this human mosaic. It's about creating a space where dialogue isn't just exchanged, but expanded in ways that enrich our understanding and appreciation of the world around us. It's an exciting vision of the future, one where our connectedness doesn't just define us, but deepens our collective human experience. And really embracing this vision, recognizing the role each of us plays in this digital renaissance, that's something truly inspiring. It's a journey that challenges us not just to connect, but to connect with purpose, with empathy, and with a profound appreciation for the diversity that defines us. That, to me, is the heart of what this digital age offers, a chance to redefine what it means to be human in an increasingly connected world.
Indeed, and that vision of the future, it's invigorating. The capacity for technology not only to connect, but to profoundly enrich our lives and deepen our understanding of each other is a powerful narrative. It turns every click, every shared post into an act fraught with the potential to weave richer, more nuanced connections across this digital expanse. Thinking about the role each of us plays, it reminds us that there's a shared responsibility in this digital age. It's not just about sending messages into the void. It's about engaging, listening, and contributing to a dialogue that spans the globe, yet touches individuals deeply. This idea of connecting with purpose and empathy, it's a beacon for how we navigate the vastness of our digital spaces, making them feel less like anonymous expanses and more like communal gatherings. It's an affirmation that despite the digital medium, at the core of it all, it's human stories, human emotions, and human connections that drive it. And yes, challenges abound as we tread this path, from issues of privacy to navigating the flood of information. But armed with empathy, creativity, and a deep respect for diversity, there's such incredible potential for good. As we embrace this digital renaissance, let's do so not just as users of technology, but as custodians of these new forms of communication. Let's craft a digital legacy that future generations will look back on not just with admiration for what was achieved, but with gratitude for the wisdom, care, and humanity that guided it. Rowan, this conversation has been incredibly affirming and thought-provoking. It's clear that as we move forward, the power of our interconnectedness, wielded with intention and kindness, has the potential not just to redefine the tools of communication, but to transform the very essence of our global community. What an extraordinary chapter to be a part of. And with that, we've reached the end of our journey through the evolution and potential future of digital communication. It's been a profound exploration, tracing the path from ancient scripts to the emojis and memes that permeate our screens today. We've delved into the depth and breadth of this digital language, pondering its impact on societal connections, cultural identity, and individual expression. Rowan's insights and the shared stories have illuminated the delicate dance between embracing global connectivity and preserving the rich, cultural intricacies that define us. It's clear that our digital interactions, from the emojis we select to the slang we share, are more than fleeting moments. They are the building blocks of a deeply interconnected, yet wonderfully diverse global tapestry. This dialogue has underscored the beauty of our modern communication, its ability to be universally accessible yet deeply personal. We've considered the promise of a digital renaissance, a period of awakening to the potential of technology not just to connect us, but to enrich our human experience in beautifully complex ways. As we pause here, let's ponder the impact of our digital footprints. Each of us plays a role in this vast digital narrative. So, what stories do we want to tell? How do we use our digital voices to build bridges, to foster understanding, and to celebrate the diversity that connects us? It's a moment to reflect on how we navigate this digital age, not just as participants, but as creators of a more inclusive, expressive, and interconnected world. Thank you for joining us in this conversation. It's one that I hope continues far beyond today, encouraging us all to think more deeply about the power of our digital interactions. Until next time, keep sharing, keep connecting, and most importantly, keep exploring the boundless possibilities of our digital age.